How much power do these performance cars really make? To find out, I'm going to put them on the dyno and then compare the results to what the manufacturers say they should do. Then I'm going to put them on some scales and weigh them and see how that compares to what they say they should weigh. Are the owners of these cars going to be happy with the results or rather disappointed? Buy, sell,
Car wow.
We're going to start this video by testing the power on the Audi RS6. So we've got it structured as the dyno. We've only brought down by Connor. It's your mate's car.
It is indeed.
The car's got a 4-litre twin-turbo V8. It's supposed to put out 600 horsepower and 800 newton meters of torque. We're going to see if that's true or not. Do you think it's going to do over or under the claimed horsepower figure?
I'm hoping it does over, to be honest with you. I'm a bit sceptical.
You're a bit sceptical. So actually you hope that it will do more, but you think it's going to do less?
Yes.
Let's find out. Right, we've done the runs with the RS6 on the dyno. We've done 3 runs. We're going to take the best figures overall, okay? So, this car's supposed to be doing 600 horsepower. What's the best horsepower figure you got, SM? This is SM, by the way, from ONYX.
Nice to meet you guys.
Who are lending us their dyno today. So, go on, tell us.
Best power figures we got is 598.8 brake horsepower.
So, round up, 599 horsepower.
Well, I'm sure my friend's going to be pretty happy with
It's
that.
lost a horse. A whole horse has bolted.
You know.
I'm only joking. That's pretty blooming good. It's bang on the money, that is. What about torque, though?
Torque figures are a bit over. It's pushing 818.2 newton meters and 818.3. It's the best one.
So 818.3 newton meters, pretty consistent as well with the torque, a little bit over standard, and the torque curve itself
is strong.
Yeah, I used to have an RS6 and it did feel real consistent and strong. Didn't launch quite as well as the BMW, so it's going to be interesting to see what power that puts out, but you've got to be happy with that, right? Well, your mate's got to be happy.
Well, he's very happy. I can feel it already. I can't wait to tell him.
You can feel
I'm going to phone him right now.
But this is only half of the story, right? Because we need to check out the power to weight ratio, and for that, we need to weigh the car. And if it's quite a lot heavier than what Audi says, then that might not be quite so impressive overall.
Indeed.
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Well, Connor, we were happy with the performance figures, but are we going to be happy with how much this car weighs? So Chris from AWM has had it on the scales. So the car is listed as 2,075 kilos. But Chris, how heavy have you found it to be in reality?
So this car weighs 2,199 kilos.
That's quite a lot more.
It is. It's a bit gutting, actually.
And you know, the manufacturer's figure, right? It's something called DIN, which they have fluids in the car and 90% full fuel tank. The fuel tank on this car is about 38% full, so we've got to do calculation to add in the weight of the fuel to get it to be comparative. So if we do that, Chris, what would this car be weighing if it had 90% full fuel tank?
2217.
Ooh, right. Yeah, so it's pretty heavy. Now, I know this car, it looks like it's got a aftermarket kit on it, so some added side skirts and something at the front here as well.
I'd say that's the majority of the weight.
Aren't there some spaces on the wheels as well?
There may be some spaces on there, which is probably a bit of weight as well, to be honest.
And is there some lead in the boot as well?
Slight.
A slight bit of lead.
lead.
Anyway, so it's quite a bit heavier. I'm not sure what the reason for that could be. Could be because it's got those bits and fully loaded with kit. I don't know. But anyway, it's heavier than the listed figure. Now, the power to weight ratio for this car, when you take the standard horsepower and the claimed weight, should be 289 horsepower per tonne. Now, the car's bang on the money with the power output, but the weight has dragged it down. It's now got a power to weight ratio of 270 horsepower per tonne for this very car in reality. How would your friend feel about that?
I think it'd be a bit emotional, to be honest with you. I have to be honest. Yes, I would be.
Let's move on to the next car. This is Afi. This is Afi's E63 S.
Yep.
So, you've seen the results of the Audi RS6. Do you think your car's going to outperform it?
Come on, we're talking AMGs. Team AMG.
Right, okay.
You've got to live up to it.
Well, we're going to find out if it will do in a moment. So, it's got a 4-litre twin-turbo V8, like the Audi. This one puts out 612 horsepower, claimed, and 850 newton meters, claimed. You reckon it's going to go, what, higher than that, lower than that? What do you reckon?
I reckon it should do 600 on the dot.
Oh, you reckon? So you reckon it's going to under what Mercedes say?
A little bit.
Okay.
Listen.
Where's this Team AMG?
Well,
This
if we
is not Team
if we
AMG.
get 600, we're happy because we beat the Audi, right?
Well, by 1 horsepower.
But no, you know what? 610.
610, okay. Well, let's find out if you're right. I'll tell you what, Affy, that AMG just sounded epic running up on the dyno, didn't it?
Insane. They always sound epic.
Definitely sounded better and more powerful than the Audi, but in reality, was it more powerful? What did the numbers say? Go on, Asin, let us know.
Okay, so in terms of power-wise, we got 635.7.
Wow. Now there you go. Team AMG all the way, eh?
Yeah, 636 then.
Yeah.
You were doubting, you were like, oh, you know, 600, oh, maybe 610.
Wow, 630.
But, do you know what, that isn't the best story, is it?
Nope.
Look at
not
that,
the
look at
best story.
this! Look at that!
Just over 3,000 RPM, you've got a ton of torque kicking in there. It does drop off, but do you want to know a torque figure?
Yeah, because it's supposed to be 850, what we're doing, that's more,
We've
isn't it?
got 935.7 newton meters.
Lovely. Now that's why you buy an AMG, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I don't get too carried away because, you know, if it's really heavy, the gains you've made with power and torque could be offset by gains that it might be making in terms of weight. So we've got to get it on the scales before we get too excited and see how it measures up in terms of what the claimed weight is. But at the moment, it's looking pretty good for the AMG. After your car's supposed to weigh 2,010 kilos. Chris, what does it actually weigh?
2,092 kilos.
Right, so a bit heavier, quite a bit heavier. However, hasn't it got a full tank of fuel?
It does indeed.
So we need to adjust down a bit. If it had 90% full tank of fuel, what would it weigh?
2,086.
So quite a bit heavier.
Yes.
Those gains with power have been offset by the weight. Now the car's claim power to weight ratio is 305 horsepower per tonne. When I did the maths, because you've got more horsepower, it's made up for the weight, and it's still exactly the same, 305 horsepower per tonne that it's supposed to have. You're doing one at the moment, but are you about to be upstaged by the BMW? This is Harry. Harry, you brought down a BMW M5 Competition.
I have, yes.
You've seen what the Mercedes has done. BMWs are famous for producing over the claim power figures. So 4.4 litre twin turbo V8, BMW says 625 horsepower and 750 newton meters of torque. Are you going above that or below that?
It would be ideal for 625.
You reckon it's going to be 625 bang on the money?
Realistically, 620.
You reckon under?
Yes.
I think over. I think
think?
yeah, I think like 630, maybe even the same as the Mercedes.
That would
maybe.
be nice.
Well, let's get it running and find out what the truth is. We've run the BMW up on the dyno. You were expecting 620, so a little bit pessimistic. I was expecting like 630 odd. Optimistic. What's the reality? So what's the most horsepower?
Best run, 651.7.
What?
Wow.
Wow! Oh my God! So 652 horsepower, it's supposed to do 625. I knew BMW were a bunch of lying on the performance of their cars. Right, torque though, so it's supposed to do 750. What's it actually doing? What's peak torque?
Okay, well torque, best one we got is 863 newton meters.
What?
Wow. 110 newton meters over.
That is f***ing nuts. You know what, drag race these cars, right? And the BMWs, they win those drag races, and especially in the rolling races as well, they absolutely just fly. Now, we need to check out the weight. Is it going to be under? Is the weight going to be under, or do you reckon the weight will be over? I think the weight will be over, really.
I think so.
But you were wrong, you were pessimistic, you were so wrong. Anyway, let's find out how much the car weighs. All right, Harry, we've had your car on the scales.
Yes.
It's supposed to weigh 1,940 kilos, but Chris what did it actually weigh?
1928.
So BMW are lying again, but in the wrong direction, or the right direction. Actually, the right direction. It's got a full tank, so when you account for that for 90% full, what does that come to?
1919.
Over on power, under on weight. So the claim power to weight ratio, if you use the official stats, should be 322 horsepower per tonne. The actual 340 horsepower per tonne. I can sense the BMW fanboys getting rather moist in the comments section. They're always rather moist. No wonder these cars absolutely smash it in the drag race. So keep going on about the drag race. If you want to see a drag race with an even quicker M5 than the normal competition, the CS, click on the pop-out banner somewhere over Chris's head, probably. I'll follow the link in the description below. Let's see if we can get some better stats though with a Panamera. So the BMW fanboys are probably rejoicing, but can we stop them with a Porsche? We've got Matt here. He's brought down a Panamera Turbo SE Hybrid. So this has a 4-litre twin turbo V8. It's got an electric motor, combined 700 horsepower.
It's your shout.
I just buy them and drive them. And it's got 870 newton meters of torque. I'm really interested to see what this car's actually going to do because of the hybrid system. What do you reckon? Do you reckon it's going to do over, under, or because it's Porsche, it's going to be bang on the money?
I'll probably say bang on the money with Porsche.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
You know what? I'm erring on that side as well. Do you know what? I've actually got to shoot off right now because I've got to go to Porsche GB to talk about a car I might be buying. I wonder what that could be. Do you know what it is? Let me know in the comments below.
Okay, Matt, so we've just ran the car on the dyno. We've done 3 power runs. The best horsepower is 750.4. It's supposed to be 700 horsepower. Also, the best torque that we managed to get is 924.4 newton meters, over 50 newton meters over the factory quoted figures.
It's surprising. Why wouldn't they say it? It's a much powerful car than it was meant to be. So crazy.
Matt, we'll put your car on the scales. It weighed 2,384. With the added fuel, it's 2,426 kilos.
So then what exactly happened? Well, seeing as this video is all about power and weight, I've ranked the cars according to their actual versus claimed power to weight ratios. And so in last place is the Audi with an actual power to weight ratio of 270 horsepower per tonne, which is 19 less than it should be. Next is the AMG with a power to weight ratio of 305 horsepower per tonne, which is exactly as AMG claimed, even though it's achieved this through having a bit more power and a bit more weight. In second place is the Porsche with an actual power to weight ratio of 309 horsepower per tonne,
Which is 11 more than claimed.
but the winner is the BMW, which has an actual power to weight ratio of 340 horsepower per tonne, which is 18 more than BMW says it has. Impressive.
I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you did, give it a like. Let me know what you think of the results in the comments below. Click on those windows there for some more videos, and on that box there to go to carwow to sell your car. Just upload some photos, give a brief description, then dealers all over the country will bid on your car. It's dead easy. Thanks for watching.